Angga. Okay, got it. It gave me some opportunities to share with you about preparing Indonesian student for connecting world. Before that, actually, I have to introduce it in front of you as well. My full name, actually, I have a unique name from Thailand, Thai name. We call it Thai name, but I have discussed it with Mr. Angga. So uh, what is that? Introduce my name with Thai name or Indonesian name. But my Thai name is Chai Sai Kamawet. My Indonesian name is Soni Afriansyah. You can call me Soni for short, like that. And then I originally from Jambi because I have Aziz here, right? Because Aziz from Jambi, by the way, and I know your university because my university near from you, from yours. What is that? Islamic State University, right? And me, Jambi University. That's actually my major is not English literature or English blah blah blah, but my major is chemistry education. Mm, but we could discuss today about globalization and the impact for education. Okay, are you ready, guys? Then we can have. May I know where your Chinese names come from, Son? Okay. my my Chinese name comes from when I was in Thailand, 2018. My papa, I call it papa because I have what I call it stepfather. My stepfather from Thailand gave me that name. Actually, it's a unique name because Chai Sai and Kamawet, but not called Chai Sai like Indonesians say that. But they called me Chai. They call me Chai, but they call me Son too. I guess it's a really, what is that? When I was in Thailand, I was really confused about the name because we have a long name. As we call it complete name, right? Full name. But oh yes, sun sign, right? But in Thailand, I guess they always call the friends or the others say that pig. We know that pig is babi in Indonesia, but it's not weird, but it's okay. Pig, cock, piam, and the others that yes, 555 in Thailand is ha ha ha, right? Okay, thank you. Miss Suchi to everyone too, right? Okay, Mr. Azi, may I know that Miss Azi here?
I'm here.
Hi, Miss Azi. Nice to meet you, by the way, because you are from Jambi. I'm so excited about that.
Oh, you're from Jambi too?
Yes, I'm originally from Jambi, by the way.
Which part?
Yeah, Kota Jambi.
Oh, I'm basically part
What,
of Jambi. I mean, like,
what
yeah,
about you?
let's we discuss first, then we talk about it.
Yeah, maybe that's right. Kita about preparing nation student for a connected world. I know that without further ado, wait, okay. Why DYT, right? WDYT. What do you think about these pictures, guys? Maybe someone to talk about this, please. Anyone to raise hand, please? I don't know. This is Mr. Thailand too. Hello. Yes. I'm from Thailand because you try to write down with alphabet of Thailand. Mr. Use glasses, please. Okay, nggak ada. Mr. Sunshine, what do you think about this?
Okay, so I just want to help Moonshine to understand the question. There is no question. It's like we are asked to compare. There is a picture displayed on the screen right there, Mr. Moonshine. So it's actually showing a very evident disparity when it comes to education and infrastructures. I believe that region to region, I just having a debating tutoring class before, and we did discuss something. we did something. We did discuss something about the the feasibility and the justifications of national exam. So at that motion, we truly engage in whether or not national exam is applicable. And we know that we should reject the idea of national exam. I mean, like standardizing exam is not appropriately justified to be done in Indonesia, because we know there is a huge socio-economic disparities that this ultimately impact to the quality of education, the learning process, the facilitations of the teachers from region to regions are completely in different level, and that's why standardizing the level means equalizing the level of difficulty for every exam, for every subject. Really not fair or unjust actions to be done by the government. Okay, so yeah, I think we have a huge task to put a deeper concerns on how the facilitations or like education infrastructures in, especially in the east part of Indonesia, still need have a huge concern from the governments in the center. I think that's my comment, Mr. Soni. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. You asked me on comment section, right? What the question? The question is, what do you think about these teachers? It's not a question, guys. Just what is that one section for you? And I ask Miss Risma first. Maybe Miss Risma has another perspective, by the way. Miss Risma, comes to you, please.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the question. So, in
I'm
my
sorry, I couldn't
opinion,
hear you.
okay, am I audible?
Yes, but it's so small, I guess. Let's see.
Okay, in my
Yes.
opinion,
Okay.
these two pictures, the right one, it explain. First is, it is the interaction and the facilities, and also it is in inequality. So for the example, I was become a volunteer teacher in Tasikmalaya. In Tasikmalaya, it is in rural area. So actually, they have. So actually, in the maybe in the right picture, they actually have their facilitation. They have facilitations, but they not delivered it into the rural area by the local government. So I think it is important to controlling the local government of the of the education facilitation. It is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Risma. I do agree about those of your perspective here, guys, because we know in East Indonesia, we know about the lack of facilities and uh, we call it prosperity of the teachers as well. All right, before this one, we have to see about the problematica of in Indonesia education.
Hassan, I don't hear any voice, any sound, sorry, from your video. Kak Sony, I think your video doesn't have sound. I don't know about the
Does
others.
How about the others?
Me too. I can't hear anything.
Yeah, I don't hear any sound of
You need to
the
reshare.
video.
You need to reshare your screen, but by clicking the audio, sharing the audio first when you want to share the screen. Okay, you can how to say, close the screen first and then reshare it again. Reshare it by clicking the audio.
Oh, I see, I see.
Yeah, the Zoom screen. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Yep, that's audible now.
Wajib masuk di sekolah 8 jam.
Ini cerita tentang pendidikan. Potret kemakmuran sebuah negeri bermula dari sini. Peran guru sebagai pilar utama ternyata memiliki segala macam persoalan.
Indonesia menjadi salah satu negara yang diukur sejauh mana layanan pemerintah terhadap pendidikan di Indonesia gitu. Nah, Indonesia mendapatkan skor 77 dan itu memang di bawah Ethiopia yang skornya 79. Kita belum ada pemetaan atau evaluasi secara nasional terhadap kualitas guru di Indonesia. Ada namanya UN segala macam gitu, UNBK segala macam yang dievaluasi siswanya. Tapi pertanyaannya, guru yang ngajarin siswa supaya dia bisa berkembang dengan baik, itu kualitasnya gimana?
Setelah siswa pulang, guru tidak pulang. Mestinya melakukan evaluasi apa yang terjadi hari ini. Evaluasi bersama, kemudian buat perencanaan besok apa yang harus dilakukan di sekolah. Bagaimana pendidikan karakter mau dibangun kalau gurunya nggak pernah ada di sekolah? Guru wajib masuk di sekolah 8 jam dan jamnya 5 hari.
Sebenarnya itu nggak ada masalah ya, karena selain dia berada di lapangan, di sekolah maksudnya, di luar pun masih harus banyak pekerjaan-pekerjaan, tuntutan-tuntutan yang harus dilakukan. Nggak masalah untuk 8 jam.
Saya pikir kalau kualitas guru itu sudah sangat memenuhi. Tapi background ini yang harus kami hadapi itu berbeda. Kami di sini ibaratnya diserahin orang tua itu anak untuk dididik totalnya. Ya, jadi perbaikan akhlak, mulai dari perbaikan tingkah laku. Kadang kami harus mengeluarkan uang dari kantong sendiri untuk menopang mereka.
Saya konteksnya di di pendidikan alternatif, sehingga cara kami melihat guru itu bisa jadi beda dengan pemerintah melihat guru. Jadi kalau memang kualitas guru dari kacamata seperti itu buruk, ya mungkin banyak faktor ya. Bisa jadi guru-guru yang mengajar memang tidak terpanggil hatinya untuk mengajar dan akhirnya melakukan malpraktek di mana-mana gitu kan, dan itu bahaya banget gitu.
Di sisi lain, siswa tidak serta-merta dapat menyerap seluruh materi akademis ketika beban masalah sosial ekonomi keluarga ikut berangkat ke sekolah.
Anak yang orang tuanya ada persoalan, anak yang dalam kondisi ekonomi tertekan, nah itu kami memberikan materi akademis hanya bisa masuk mungkin 20-50%. Bidang akademik itu akan bisa tertangani dengan baik kalau mental siswa, kepribadian siswa itu juga memenuhi standar sehingga kami akan gampang memasukkan akademis itu ke dalam jiwa mereka.
Maksud aku nggak usah stop tuduh-tuduhan, do something about it gitu. Kalau semuanya bergerak dan semuanya merasa bahwa punya role dan berkepentingan untuk hal tersebut, things will change. Gitu.
Mencerdaskan kehidupan bangsa bukan hanya urusan pemerintah, tapi kepedulian dan peran serta semua pihak mutlak diperlukan.
Untuk peningkatan mutu yang pastinya adalah pendidikan dan pelatihan. Sedangkan sekarang, zaman sudah abad 21, itu sudah lebih global lagi. Nah, ada bagian-bagian guru yang mungkin tidak bisa mengikuti perkembangan zaman. Mungkin daerah-daerah yang terpencil, yang tidak mengenal internet, ini agak susah gitu. Dan ini yang harus ditingkatkan.
Thank you. Mr. Again. Yeah, thanks so much for watching that videos. I want to ask you, what did you get from that videos, guys? Anyone raise her before I ask you to comment that videos? Anyone?
May I, sir?
Yes, thank you, Miss.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Soni, for giving me time to give my perspective about your video. Based on the video that I have watched, this is a kind of what is that, the problem, yeah, for every teachers in Indonesia, where they have to, what is that, focus on their students, yeah, not only um, after their data is over, but they have to focus on their capability, based on their attitude, based on their performance, and the ability of the students. But sometimes for the teachers, they have some problems, yeah, especially they when they have to face many problems like education in Indonesia, yeah, because the teachers not only has a, what is that, has a duty to teach their student, but they have to, what is that, prepare, yeah, before they have to teach. There are some regulation they have to follow. For example, they have to prepare like a lesson plan before they teach their students. They have to know what is that, the standard. They have to know a kinds of curriculum that they have to teach, because every time, yeah, not every time, yeah, like we know that in Indonesia, the curriculum always changing, yeah, in Indonesia. That's all for my side. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Hani. Yeah, yeah, we are the same boat because I know that it's really complicated when we talk about the administration for being teacher in Indonesia, because we had to prepare the lesson plan that you said before, and
Yeah,
for yeah, and then
yeah, yeah.
what we call it, bring up the level.
Uh-huh.
It's a civil servant for bring the level to what's that call it, all of the papers for the lesson plan for the curricula 2013
Mhm.
and blah 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 until,
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
so we call it make a thesis like that. Yeah, and then
Yeah, yeah.
the lack of the quality of the teachers, as you mentioned
Mhm,
before, that the
mhm.
biggest problem in Indonesia, especially, and for changing the curriculum 2013 curriculum, the blah blah blah, and change again right now in independent curriculum and blah blah
Mhm,
blah.
mhm.
This is so complicated. That's about the curriculum. That's
Yeah.
so interesting. Thank you, Miss.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And what about the Thailand boy here? Because your right hand.
Yeah,
Anyone?
so the
Mhm.
thing is, in Indonesia, they don't appreciate the teachers like
Mhm.
so much. So, the first of all, the the lack of quality in the how they teach, how they sometimes how they treat the students, and then they don't get paid that much, and not to mention that some of the students' needs are on the teacher, so they got paid less, and they need to buy some supplies for the children's. Uh, so it's pretty hard for a teacher, and also the effort of being a teacher is really high, because maybe some of the kids are bad and whatever, like other stuff. So it's actually
Yes.
pretty sad to be a teacher in Indonesia. That's all for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Yeah. When I said to Miss Henning before, because like this, for being teacher in Indonesia, it's really hard. And even though so many train like we call it PPG or what is that? Trained by the teacher because educational minister tried to give them, but it's not fixed actually because so many homework for the teachers in Indonesia, how to give the best the best attitude learning for student because there's the what is that? The teacher tried to make our student, especially Indonesian student, the best in the future like that. Okay, thank you, Mr. Sunshine Fitu. Okay, you said your name again and again. All right. Okay, thank you so much, guys. And this is list accountant for tonight. I divide by 6. We try to explain, discuss about historical context and current trends, pedagogical integration in education, curriculum development for global competence, and language and cross-cultural skills, international collaboration and partnership, and the last is policy and leadership in globalized education. For the first one, historical context and current trends. We know that since what we call Dutch era, because we colonized by the Dutch, right? And then historical context based on that, or if you want to talk about based on Soekarno Hatta start in independent days is depend on you. And don't forget that because we have 4 point of view. The first one is about overview of globalization, impact on globally. And the second one is past influences of globalization on Indonesian education. And of course, that is proposing strategy to prepare students for global success. And then the third one is about current global educational trend right now. Maybe you could try to combine with digital technology or AI or blah, 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 blah. And the last is comparative analysis. If you have read or if you have studied about this, try to compare Finland in Indonesia and blah, 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 like that. Okay, are you ready? I hope that you're ready. Okay, this is the question. What are the primary challenges and opportunities that globalization presents to Indonesia's education system? And how can this be addressed to prepare Indonesian students for global success? Anyone to give your opinion? Anyone give? Sorry. Okay, last hand. Okay. If Miss Aziz.
Well, I'm trying my best. Yeah, but honestly, I'm not from education background, as you know. As a minors, not we have to concern about the education, right? But here, I see from my eyes as someone who's not from education's background. You know what I mean, like education or something. But here I'm as a student who, of course, concerned about these issues. What are the primary challenges and opportunities that globalization presents to nations? I think especially their facility. I mean, like how they get, um, I mean, knowledge, or I mean, the teacher give. You can compare like usual school with the, let's say, it's expensive school or international school. They have different facilities, right? So I think that how make it different result, make it actually every child has their own ability to have knowledge as good as possible, but what things that support them to get the lessons or knowledge, it make it limited. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, thank you. You try to combine from facilities that with facilities and challenges and opportunities that globalization presents. Okay, thank you so much, Miss Aziz. And what about the others? Anyone raise hand? I'm gonna go to toilet. Yeah, please. All right, Miss Suchi. Hello, Miss Suchi. SUCI. Sunshine. Suchi.
Mr. San, should I call you, or Mr. Chai?
Just call Mr. Son.
But I think Mr. Moonshine has raised his hand, so you should give the stage first.
Okay, maybe Mr. Moonshine after you. After Mr.
Okay.
Moonshine and Sunshine.
Okay. Maybe later Mr. Moonshine can add from global's perspective. So, interesting. Education. So actually, I want to spend my time here because the title is very interesting about the globalization and education. Okay, where in my opinion and in my perspective and then in my experience, Indonesia's education problem is still in the grassroots is very like when you show the video before about the problem in Indonesia and so on, it just from my perspective, it's still in the top level problem. Still haven't reached the grassroots, very in the remote area, which is the major problem in Indonesia's education, in my opinion. So, what are the primary challenge and maybe later Mr. Moonshine can add for opportunities that globalization presents, because I don't really understand about that. So like the primary challenge for globalizations, maybe until now we still put all of the burden for education in Indonesia to the teachers. Meanwhile, actually, education is not only the teacher's responsibility, where education is actually all of the people's responsibility, including the parents, including the government, including the society itself, even for the grassroots government, like kepala desa and whatever it is. Because from my experience, not only, let's say before there are people said about the facilitation, about the teachers don't get paid enough for what they work for. But I have experience like where the teachers want to teach, and then they have a hike for the salary, because in the government facilitate them with the high pay so that they want to go to the remote area. But the problem is about the geographic, like we cannot reach the place, we cannot reach that area only to open the school, like something like that. Because like our problem in the grassroots is still like inequality, because our country is very big, and then it just like Mr. Sunshine said before, that each region has its problem. Like even one school has a lot of facility, has a lot of teacher who is eager to teach, but the family or the parents not really interested into their child's education. They want to bring them to work or something like that, and then so on. So I mean, like it's still inequality, and then inequality. I don't know how to say it in English, but in Indonesia I called it like the main or the primary challenge in Indonesia is ketimpangan, and then our main homework is pemerataan, because like our country is very big. And then what I see before about the education problem, Indonesia is still in the top level, haven't reached the main problem actually. So that is why globalization for Indonesian education is very big enough to reach, in my perspective. But I guess we have that, and then we can hear for Mr. Moonshine perspective for that, for opportunities that globalization presents. I think that's all for me.
Thank you so much for gives some perspective. I guess it's really interesting because you try to combine with that videos you watch, and the responsibility that from the teacher. Not actually, it's not only a teacher. Yeah, of course, the society and the family, the chairman, and so on. Right? Okay, thanks so much, this, and so many challenges that to address this motion. So we try to what is that? Moonshine raise hand right now. Hello, Mr. Moonshine. We try to hear from you perspective, please. No, please.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Soni. I really like the others' opinion about how they see Indonesian problem towards education, and I think education is one of the most important thing that our country should address as one of the important role to connect into the global society. And it's related to your video before that say actually Indonesia, the way that Indonesia approach our country itself is really wrong in the first time. For example, we try to approach our education system with the mainland system, but actually the geographical things in Indonesia is we are island country, not continental, not like Europe or Europe. But the way that we teach and give or make the curriculum is based on continental, the way that continental country thinking and go so on. So actually that's the primary challenges that we, the reason why we are so hard, so difficult to improve the quality of our what's that, our quality of human resources, because the way that we approach our country is based on continental system, not island system. And also it's related to the first picture, the difference between the left picture and the right one. Imagine that Papua students, they live daily in nature, different with the city, different those who live in city. So the approach should be based on nature, not based on the way that city thinks with the economic things, technology, and so on and so on. But what we should shift it to the nature, and also after the curriculum, the system that we develop, the second one that become our problem is actually our prosperity. All that involved in our education, teachers, students, or parents, and the society as a whole system. So how to say, like we have a lot of productive age number in until 2038, something like that, and we cannot connect between our education and industry, because we think that become what's that, undergraduated bachelor is to connect us to the industry, but different. So in developed country, you have vocational education that connect you with industry, different with bachelor. Bachelor is to analyze, to develop your analyze, critical thinking, logical, and so on, and coherence, structure of thinking, logic, and something like that. So it's different. But in Indonesia, we see bachelor as a worker. So that's also a problem to connect the system, to connect the education, the university, and also the industry. But we have a lot of opportunities in the future. For example, like we have a lot of, what's that, nickel, and so on and so on. So I just want to see, it's not I promote someone or a politician, but this one is a good policy that we should have implemented in the future. So in the weapon industry for our defense, the Minister of Defense, he doesn't want to produce the product outside the country, but the scientists or the what is that, the industry, the weapon industry from abroad should come here with the blueprint. So our people will learn the blueprint, and we can produce our own weapon on, or yeah, so on, the vehicle tactical things, or the jet fighter, and so on and so on. So if we want to make the policy to bring a lot the knowledge, the technology to our country, yeah, after maybe Bea Cukai become more clever after this, so maybe we can develop more opportunities in the future. I think that's it. Thank you so much, Mr. Soni.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moonshine. I guess it's younger brother from Mr. Sunshine. I
Yeah.
recall Moonshine and Sunshine. How can you
Yeah, Sunshine is the
like
leader of
this?
Shine
My
Dynasty.
well, just my name's Galaxy Sun. Galaxy Sun. Okay, thank you, sir. Yeah. I assume that we didn't have a fixed curriculum based on the needs for the student whole of Indonesia. And the second one is we have a lot of opportunity, especially if Bea Cukai still like it like that. Thank you so much, sir, for give the perspective. And we move to the next question. Wait, yeah. The next question is about how has globalization historically influenced Indonesia's education system, and in what ways do current global educational trends to continue to shape its development? Yeah.
Sorry, Kak Son, your slide is not moving. It's still in the first question.
What about
Still
this?
in the.
What about the others? How about this?
Yeah, still the same slide.
Oh, really? Wait. This one? The first question?
Still not moving, still the same.
Okay, this is the second question?
No. You might stop sharing first and then reshare the screen again.
Yes.
Just for your information, guys, Kak Soni has a lot of questions to discuss. Yeah. Go ahead, Kak Soni.
Yeah. Right. Good.
Yep. It's a different slide now.
All right. How has globalization historically influenced Indonesia's education system? And in what ways do current global educational trends continue to shape its development? Okay. Anyone to give you opportunity to speak about this motion? Miss Nuna. Oh, Nuna from Korea? Hello, Miss Nuna.
Hello, Mr. Soni.
Yeah, are you from Korea?
Of course not. So actually, I haven't proceed the what but I haven't understand the question very well. So can someone else to answer the question?
Okay, never mind.
Gak asik main HBD, gak
Okay,
sopan.
Sunshine Pichu, the little brother from Sunshine, please.
Okay. How has globalization historically influenced Indonesia's education system, and in what ways do current global educational trends continue to shape its development? So, because of globalization, the first thing that comes in my mind is back in the day, when my parents are when they're like around elementary or maybe around elementary, people used to, when you're bad, and the teachers used to use this as a tool. But nowadays there's no more like, I don't know, like abusing or something. I don't know. Like nowadays, when teachers are teaching the children, they would, I don't know, they're just much nicer. Because I've been to a school where the teachers, maybe they learned the how to teach with the old school way. So I don't know, they're just kind of hard on the kids, so it's pretty hard. So the globalization does change the how nowadays in Indonesia the educational is just much friendlier. That's all from me.
Yes. You talked about your parents in elementary school. When they were in elementary school, they use back, I guess, and they use books. But right now, maybe you and the others still use laptops or ebook. Not bring the, what is that? We call it paper books like that. Okay, Miss Nuna, raise hand. Yes, Miss Nuna.
Okay,
Nuna,
so
are you there?
finally I know the question. As a teacher, I am teaching currently. I'm teaching in a public elementary school in Samarinda. I guess there's a lot of different from what it used to be and how it is now. Like you know, historically, we, you know, when I was young, I because I wasn't a teacher back then. Before we enter the school, there's some requirement that we have to do. For example, you have to do the test. Like if you want to enter an elementary school, right? You have to do the test, and they will test you if whether you can read or not, and then you can study. But now, like everyone can just apply as long as the age is fit. Like you are on the you are 7 years old, I guess, the least one, and then you can just enter the school. So the problem is, I've been teaching like for around 2 years in this school. I have a students who already in the 6th grade, and they haven't known how to read. Like they literally cannot read, and that sometimes make me sad. And I don't know, I if sometimes something like sometimes I think I want to do something like to help them, but as a honor teacher, like I have many things to do. Like I work 7 to 7 days, and it's sometimes a day I work like more than 9 hours. So sometimes it's like burden is a burden as a teacher, like when I have to teach them, but they don't even know how to read. And yeah, that's the difference between how it used to. I guess it's not wrong. I mean, the system is not totally wrong. Maybe just I even question some things. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. Yeah. Right now in independent curriculum as well has project other than project tasks for the student. Because of that, if that student doesn't have knowledge about writing something and blah 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 when you mentioned before, it's really hard for them. And yes, globalization not only improve but lacking something. Okay, what about in what ways do current global education trends continue to save it? Might be Mr. Sanson, do you have any idea about that?
So we're still in this
Sansan?
question, right? Is it about
Yes,
like? Okay. I think the trend, the globalization means that um, I tend to see this from a perspective of industrial revolution. So as it may change, and how, for example, in the case of AI integrations in terms of technological advancements, I believe that this also strongly influence the way education is distributed and developed. Because like the moment, for example, like China become the most leading country in doing research related to AI, somehow they can overcome the problems related to their economic growth, and it has somehow have a relatively competitive positions with the USA in terms of the top leading countries economically. So we see back then, last decade, it's really hard for China to somehow bring significant impact in financing, globally. But now, due to its overwhelming transition to more technological and scientific base in terms of educations, they can technically and technologically equip their citizens to be more averse with technological advancements. So I can see that the trends related to industries have a very strong connections with how we should empower or switch the educational model, educational system that we have in our country. But still, the problems, I do agree with some reasons that become the principal drawbacks of why our education doesn't go upward, but rather it's like becoming, how to say, it's like going down the hills. So I can say that the problem probably like how to say, the lack of transparency and accountability. I think there are strong political forces, political motives behind every educational policies. Policies making is not strategically hit the actual challenges that have been encountered by education. So I can say, I think the pinpointing of Nadiem Makarim as the Minister of Education is somewhat correct. But the problem is related to this regime, how strong force in political in every decisions made is always behind a political issues, and that's why rather than bring more how to say decision policies making that actually can counter any educational problems, it always like it always set for the benefits of those in political parties. So yeah, I think it depends whether or not we can be more transparent and accountable in providing educational facilities and education infrastructures, because I believe that in the next or in the upcoming government, it will be even harder for the society to do check and balance, because I think it will be less transparent, and the process of accountability will be harder to achieve, since in the process of there are a lot of news in social media that Prabowo tend to be more authoritative leaders than the one who is like upholding the democratic values. So I can say it will be harder for the educations in the upcoming, especially knowing that the UKT tuition fee, of course, experience 300 until 500 increasing from the actual price. So knowing that it becomes somehow categorized as tertiary education, means it's optional, not obligatory, and somehow we question whether or not we are ready to empower the quality of Indonesian 2045 generations that should be golden, but I don't know, probably it will be frozen or even chopper. Yeah, so we somehow questions every policy made by the governments, not only the government but also the Ministry of Educations and all the entities related to these policies making. Yeah, so something wrong happening, but still we need to also answer the global challenges regarding technologies, the developments of science, and so on and so forth. So it becomes double burdens on the shoulders of every stakeholder related to educational empowerment in Indonesia. Yeah, I think that's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you. I assume that we need transparent for improving the quality of the teachers, and we have to do strengthening the strengthening the policy for education. Thank you, Mr. Sunshine. Okay. For the second one, guys, we try to discuss about this technological integration in education, because we in Indonesia right now. What your perspective about this, and benefit of technical integration, challenges and strategies for effective integration. Okay, without further ado, for the first one is about this. What is the current stage of technology integration in Indonesia education, and how does it compare to global standard? Okay, we have new participant here, Mr. Prapti or Miss Prapti, I don't know. Mr. Prapti? Yeah, Miss Prapti, I'm sorry. Miss Prapti, up to you to give your opinion about this.
Okay, thank you. Hold on, I will do the first mistake of the project.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you. For me, I
Mrs.
think I think in Indonesia now education is has increased, not decreased, I think. Even though not when we compare with another country, Indonesia still left behind for some issues, but for some cases, but not all of the cases in Indonesian education is left behind by the other countries. Why? Because now it's digital era. So not only for actually talking about education, we not focus on not only for student but for everyone education. Even though for me, I'm getting older, it is not stop, not quit to learn to learn to or to get more education. Um, now a big so if in technology in digital era, the technology is talking about digital era also. So now why the education in Indonesia is increased, because in digital era we get easier to improve our knowledge in everything, in education field, everything, not in languages, is everything become easier to get more, to improve our knowledge or our education fields. So, and also when pandemic coming, for me that was pandemic coming also give a benefit for all of people in the world, especially for Indonesia, because we can study or learn together by Zoom meeting. So there is handicap anymore. There is handicap or hindrance anymore. We can learn easily with somebody else, even though across the world. I ever read in news that for the Zoom meeting or a Zoom by not Zoom meeting, not only Zoom meeting but online learning programs in Indonesia will help. Will help in rush. All of the Indonesian people will do it maybe 15 years later, but because of pandemic coming, so it's now is faster than prediction, just because of the pandemic. So pandemic also give benefit for uh, uh, into education field. So related to refers to the questions. What is the current state of Indonesian education in Indonesia, and how does it compare to global Indonesia? Okay, Indonesia now can compete with another country or global standards education. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We are proud being Indonesian people. We are proud. NKRI harga mati.
Oh, okay. We don't need compare from our nation to other. Yeah. Thank you. Indonesia is Indonesia. Okay. Thank you, Miss. Next, Miss Suchi. Miss Suchi, thanks you, please. Miss Suchi, I guess. Suchi.
I thought Mr. I don't know how is it Sunshine version 2 has
Oh
raised
yeah,
his
Mr.
hand
Sansan,
first,
only
not me.
Pichi first one. Mr. Sansan Fitu, yeah, okay. The little brother from Sunshine Fitu, please.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Suchi. And Mr. Soni. I think now we're starting to plant technology into Indonesian education. For example, like what just Mrs. Prapti just said. We are starting to use Zoom meeting. I don't know if like it's only my school or like every like other school else, but for my school, for the final exam, we use laptops, and if you want to do your homework, it's gonna be much easier because there's ruang guru. So yeah.
You
So I
mentioned
think yeah. So I think now I think we're starting to get there. You know. Yeah. So that's all for me.
Okay. Thank you for give example, yeah. And last, Miss Suchi. I
Okay.
want you to answer this question. How does it compare to global standards? Because anyone didn't answer this one. Thank you, Miss.
Okay, how does it compare to global standards? Okay, so but first of all, that I want to appreciate for education ministry for some kind of effort that they have to integrate technology for education. For example, like we have like a PMM platform Merdeka Mengajar. It is so I had a chance to learn about it before. It is very convenient. It is very comfortable to use, but the problem is the distribution, like how they distribute about this knowledge, how to use the platform itself. Like it is very convenient and helpful for those who already familiar with the technology and will at some kind of standard, but when we talk about Indonesian education, like I talked before that our major problem is, well, when we talk about Java centrist, it is like before you show about the problem in education, I think it's only in Java we have like that kind of problem, but our major problem in Indonesia is like much and more serious about that. We have a geography, we have the limit access, and then we have put aside about technology. They don't even like before. Well, before I was employed in West Papua for volunteer about 1 year, joining Indonesia Mengajar, and then like my teacher before, it just like she doesn't even know how to use a handphone. She didn't know about how to use handphone. He didn't know how to use laptop, even if like we lots of source, like Papua has lots of money actually. Like they have a lot of money, and then and capable enough to buy, like we don't have any we didn't have students, but we have like 4 laptops for our school. But the school itself, it haven't we can't even open the school, but the school can capable enough to buy like 4 laptops. So that is the description about the school. Yeah, for the technology itself, like we have technology integration in education, but the distribution itself is not. It's very bad, I guess, because, and also put aside PMM, we also have for government education, like the education which is provided by government, we also have like administration policy. We have computer-based national assessment, ANBK. If there is a teacher there are a teacher maybe you are familiar with it. Like, and then I was amused, like how we conduct like computer-based national assessment. Even my student can even read, like 6th grade, they still learn about alphabet, and then how they operate the laptop for the assessment. So that is why, like, that kind of administration burden in Indonesian education, which involve technology integration. So we, like Mr. Sunshine said, there are political reason in each policy, or in each how to say it, kebijakan or something like that. And so we lost the purpose itself. We lost, like, why do we need about this national assessment? We lost that purpose. So all of the teachers, all of the education penggerak pendidikan, or all the the education department in the government say that we have to do it. We have to do it because it's national assessment. If we don't do it, and then we will have a red report, like rapor merah and report. That is also another technology integration in our education. But the purpose itself, the purpose, we lost the purpose. We don't know. They don't know why they need to do that, because, like, if I mean, like, we forcing something that that don't match our capability. Yeah. And about the technology integration, and then how does it compare to global standards? Unfortunately, I also cannot answer these questions because, like, global standard, I mean, like in Indonesia, in national standard, like each region has its challenge, and then what happened in the grassroots is like, it's unbelievable. Even me, like, it's already past 1 year, but what happened in the area that I lived before, like, it still feel like a dream, especially when I come back in my area. And then even where I live now is not really the city, but what happened in the remote area like Papua and Tete, even in Sumatra, like lots of things happen and then it's unbelievable. And so for global standard, yeah, so that is why, in my perspective, actually for Indonesian education, we need someone with global knowledge, but with grassroots understanding. Because without grassroots understanding, how no matter good your knowledge about the globalization or global standard, you still cannot imply that in the grassroots what happened in Indonesian education. I think that's all for me.
Okay, thank you, Miss. Okay, so many perspectives, I guess. Yeah. And it doesn't answer how does it compare to global standards. All right, we'll continue for the next question, but for the next motion as well, I guess. Because for the next motion, the curriculum development for a global competence, we divide by three, is those of our global competence frameworks, curriculum innovation, and role of the educators or teachers. That's the question. How can Indonesia develop a curriculum that fosters for global competence, ensure the students are equipped with the skills and knowledge needed to thrive in an interconnected world? Okay, anyone to answer this question or a point of view on you? Miss Vici Fitrayanti. Hello, Miss Vici.
Hello,
Yeah,
sorry, I just joined.
yeah. Okay, fine. Miss Vici, can you answer this?
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
I
That's
think,
good.
in my opinion, like the teacher training the efforts are being the made to train the teacher in digital skills and the use of educational technology. Although this is ongoing process and varies widely across region. Yeah.
Then,
And also maybe for the ebook and digital resources, schools are increasingly using the ebook and other digital learning resources to complement the traditional textbooks. Yeah, I think that's all. Thank you.
thank you, Miss Vici. Miss Risma. Hello, Miss Risma. Are you set?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the question. In my opinion, how can Indonesia develop a curriculum that foster global competence? In For me, the first is the collaboration between the government and also schools. And for me, the globalization in education cannot be merely described as a harmful or beneficial, but it depends on one's position, perspective, values, and priorities. And the important for me is the government policies, or such as while proficiency is increasingly important in the globalist world, many Indonesian students and teachers struggle with English language skills, but the Indonesian government has diminished the English subject in elementary school. And the and also in the government point of view, that the educators are no longer expected merely to react to globalization, because they must purposefully interact with it. So it is causing the gap between teachers and also students. And for me, the how Indonesia can develop a curriculum that fosters global competence, it is the collaboration. So in the politic we call that ABGM. It is a academic academisi, business, government, and also masyarakat, and also society. So we have to aware that not only teacher playing a big role in education to foster the global competence, but also we all have that responsibility to develop the curriculum, the foster global competence. So that my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Res. Risma, sorry, Miss Risma. Yeah, I assume that we need collaboration to foster global competence and make sure that our students know about their knowledge needed. Thank you. Okay, next question. Nah, and for motions, language and cross-cultural skill, we divide by two, benefit all multilingualism because Indonesia has many languages, and then cross-cultural competence and strategies for improvement. Cross-culture, maybe try to give the best opinion for exchange student and so on. All right, the question is, what are the benefits of promoting multilingualism and cross-cultural competence in Indonesia education? And how do this skill prepare students for success in a globalized world? Okay, start to Miss Risky or Miss Risky?
Is it me?
Oh yeah, Risky. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Thank you so much, Mr. Soni, for a chance. Everyone, my name is Rizky Nopriama. I'm from Aceh, and maybe I want to answer the question. So I think the benefit that might be happen or we have achieved by promoting the multilingualism and cross-cultural competence is related to collaboration. I think the important thing in order to prepare the student for success in a globalized world is about the collaboration. So the collaboration means not only in the local or national context, but it is about international collaboration. By prepare the student to have multilingualism and cross-cultural competence could create more students that might be prepared to collaborate with more different students from across the world. I think it might help a lot in this interconnected world where many kind of issue from political, legal, or even economic, everything relate to each other. When we have many students that have competency in order to creating a collaboration with others countries representative, I think it might create a lot of a lot of development, especially for our country. Because if we're talking about the issues that we have a lot of as developed country, we have a lot of things that we need to finish. And I think with this kind of competence, it really might be helpful for students in order for that globalized world. So I think that's why I think it's so benefit if this kind of competency could be creating into our curriculum, especially for students after they graduate, they might be a prepared student for our globalized world. I think that's my opinion, sir.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Ski. And yeah, we need to promote the political leader for cultural competence also as well. Okay, anyone to give your opinion after Miss Risky? Miss Lily. Hello, Miss Lily.
Hi.
Yeah.
Me. Okay. Okay, so what are the benefits of promoting multilingualism? When it comes to these slides, I just realized that I want to share this to you guys, that as an Indonesian, we born with bilingualism. If you guys relate or not, because we born not with English Indonesian not with Indonesian language only, but we born with local language, which means that most of Indonesian children are bilingual. We have local language and then already have national language, which is Indonesian, then maybe in this context, globalized world means international language, which is English, Chinese, Japanese, and so on. So in this term, I would like to emphasize, which I do agree with the previous speaker said, but also I want to emphasize to you that do you know that there is a extracurricular in rural area talking about promoting local language within the elementary school. If you guys notice that, so the demand of learning language in rural area is more, I would say, more complicated, because if it is talking about the urban, the students in the city only talking about learning English, Germany, and so on, while the students in the rural areas are talking about learning extracurricular, which is local language. And it's not talking about our mother tongue only, but it's also promoting our character as our tribe. So promoting multilingualism here is not only talking about understanding or promoting Indonesia towards English to the global issues, but also showing our character based on the local language that we preserve from the school. And also cross-cultural competence here. I'm not talking. I do agree with talking about global competence, but then coming to Indonesian, within the Indonesian, we have a lots of tribe, local, and background, which somehow people feel like it's so traditional and not cool. While if you guys can see, the more you understand about your background, then the more unique you can be. So then I just want to give it to the floor. How do you think about learning local language as it's already starting in the rural areas, while it's not so seriously taken as our curriculum for national. So it's only several regency doing that. And in city, I don't think they do the same thing. Okay.
Okay. All right. I catch the point that not only promoting multilingualism too and cross cultures, not like English, but as well, what is it? The attitude for the local language, or we call it mother tongue. Thank you so much. Okay. Right. Changes. Okay, it's the same question. Now we discuss about international collaboration and partnership. Yeah. Don't forget to mention the strategy for enhancing international collaboration and what the challenges and barriers for this. The question is here. How can Indonesia leverage international collaboration and partnerships to enhance its education system and better prepare students for a globalized world? Okay. Minute. Miss Lily, Mr. Gandri, Narandi. It's Japanese.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Am
Do
I
you please?
audible?
Yes.
Let me think of the question, because I don't
Yeah.
I don't have any idea what I was talking about. So speaking about leverage international collaboration.
Yeah.
Leverage international collaboration and partners. Okay, so it's talking like a partnership with another organization, maybe, right? Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Sir. So yeah, uh, I think that this change, like, yeah, it will be great, but uh, the leverage international collaboration is like how I mean, not many student or maybe children that have that opportunity. I mean, maybe in just like us, maybe because we are living central. I mean, we live in Java and we live in Jakarta, so we get the information more than the others if we can compare with others live in rural area, maybe in the east side of Indonesia. So how can Indonesia leverage international collaboration? I think it's like we need to promote. Yeah, back to that. It's like a conflicted question, I think. How we can
Mhm.
leverage if we cannot promote the Indonesia itself. So yeah, that's this will be but our homework, our objective to do that things. But the thing is how we can promote if we don't have any capacity like a student to speaking or maybe to promote our culture itself. I mean, like to encourage children or student to more have brave to speak English, even they're not maybe. I mean, to get used to speaking English is like next time, right? To make that culture, and and how we can prepare it is about um yeah, this is the opportunity to that it's. I mean, the goal is like how we can develop our human resource first. So after that, maybe we can developing with the partnership in with the other organization like this question. So that's maybe my opinion because I'm not really mastering the question. Sorry, sir. Sorry
Okay,
for
never
this
mind.
is very convoluted question. I mean, complicated. I don't know how to answer it. Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you, Pak Sony.
complicated question.
Maybe the one expertise in education more capable to answer this question.
Okay, thank
Thank you,
you.
Kak Sony.
Okay, what Mr. or Miss Prapti, love there?
Okay, thank you. The same question with Mr.
Yeah, the
Brother
same question.
Gandhi. Okay,
Yes.
hold on. And better prepare student for progress. Okay, I'm agree with Brother Gandhi that if you want to compete with in a global world, so we have to prepare for the first. We have to prepare for the languages. So the first language is of course in English because English is international language. How how we can compete with the others? How we can learn from the others if we cannot speak? We if we cannot make communication with people across the world. So we can imagine that we can if we cannot speak English, and then of course we will get many problem or many handicap to to transfer our opinion, our notion or our idea to to people in the world. So that's why the first model for student or for us, if we want to compete with the other people from the other country, that's we have to learn about the language. And better if we learn about not only English, but if we want to, for example, if we think that German is a better for continue our study to German. So better for us to learn about Germany, Japan. So better for us to learn about Japan. So for me, yeah, the models, the first model, the important models if you want to compete with the other is studying languages. I think that's my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, the first important is study languages.
Oh,
Anyone?
but how can Indonesia leverage? Yeah, how can Indonesia leverage
Yeah.
international collaboration? Oh, okay. Wow, there is there is many benefit if we will leverage if we can collaborate with another from another country from
Mhm.
another country, of course, because the circumstance or the situation or the circumstance or the atmosphere when we work or when we study in abroad and then we apply it in Indonesia, of course the difference. So we will be more confidence when we come from, I mean, go to abroad and then come back to Indonesia. So so of course we will get more skill, more knowledge, so we can apply it in Indonesia. And usually, but not always, but usually when we back from abroad and then come to Indonesia, the company in Indonesia will hire us with high salary, right? So that's, I think, that good collaboration if we work together with another country. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss. Yeah, I thought that is many program for international collaboration like student exchange or we call it AES study, that means study like that. I forgot the name of the program from Australians first. All right, and okay. For the next motion is about educational technology. Here, we call it effective policy. So make sure that you tell based on the three sections here: leadership in globalized education and policy innovation and role of the government institution. Because Mr. Sansan has mentioned before this. Okay, the question is this: what qualities and practices define effective leadership in adapting Indonesia's education system to the demands of globalization, and how can this be cultivated among educational leaders? Because Mr. Sansan has mentioned this one in the in the third or fourth question before. Mr. Sansan want to answer this question.
A very complicated question, but yeah. Okay. How to bring and evaluate the relevant definitions on the effective leadership? Okay. I believe that we need a typical leader who have a significant awareness and concerns toward the developments of education. This really matters because the moment they realize the importance of education, the moments of how the integrations of technologies toward education really matters and can provide a significant changes in the evolutions of the educational assortments. I think it will be the moment where Indonesia can advance even slightly faster than before. So I can say that we need to change the paradigm. We need to change the mindsets of our leaders because until now, the consensus is only limited to increasing the, how to say, increasing the societal well-beings. More importantly, about how we can sustain the basic needs of our society. For example, like gas and how to say, gas price, and how to control the basic stocks price, and to decrease the inflations, to control the price of the inflation, and so on and so forth. So meanwhile, based on the previous case on the presidential elections, people, our society themselves still do not realize the importance of education. Means that the process of leadership right here, it doesn't like, how to say, it's like, it's not deeply embedded into every levels of the governments. Okay, so I can say that what has been transformed, what has been transferred to the society is only limited to something tangible. Okay, so it's like properties. So it's like the basic necessities, food, shelters, clothes, but not something intangible. For example, like insight, knowledge, technology, science that can actually uplift the societal welfare even way more advanced than before. So this is the problem. So effective leadership should be something that become the most priorities for our leaders. And yeah, I mean, like, for example, the moment these leaders have groundbreaking initiatives when it comes to technological advancement, transfer of technologies, making a very engaging and collaborating bilateral cooperations with other countries, especially in education. I believe that they will increase or enhance the quality of transparency and accountability of every education policy making processes, and this somehow can bring significant changes on how the leaders in downward levels, for example, like in district, sub-district level, also concerns toward this issue. So, for example, like how Jokowi implement the strategy by calling all the village leaders, to gain more supports from them when it comes to raising the votes, of the number 2 presidential candidates. So I can say the same thing can be implemented. The hierarchy very strong toward everyone who is like under him. So I can say the moment the president has this deep concerns toward educational evolution, this will provide how to say butterfly effects in the way how it will change the mindsets of every leader under him when it comes to education. So yeah, the cultivations of a good mindset, positive mindset for education should be principally transformed from the president himself, because African sense, if he connect every policy with educational impact, means that it's not only limited to one single ministry, for example, like Ministry of Education, but somehow how every policy made for every minister have a strong connections with how education landscape in Indonesia will be positively impacted. Means that there always be educational values embedded in every policy done and proposed by a DPR or also by the executive ministries. I think that's my comment. I'm sorry, it's confusing.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Sunshine. And again, we have Mr. Moonshine after that. what do you think about that, Mr. Moonshine? Mr. Moonshine, are you there?
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe the signal is really bad. All right. So I already agree with Mr. Sunshine, but maybe I put little more of my opinion. So actually, the qualities that can make Indonesia adapt to the modern world, to the technology or the globalization, is the one who has, how to say, like the future thinking, the way that he can see through what is the era, because we never know when the globalization will end, because we can see that there are a lot of symptoms that show us a lot of countries back into the nationalism, into the protection policy. So we never know the globalization will end somehow, or maybe in the future will happen. So, and also the leader that has the quality or the experience, feel the experience, study in Indonesia. A lot of people in Indonesia, when they choose the Minister of Education that graduated from US that and never study in Indonesia, we can see now how they make the policy is not really based on what happened in Indonesia. The problem in Indonesia is not, we are not lazy to go to school, but we don't have the access to go to school. It's different thing. But in his perspective, they see that a lot of Indonesian is lazy to go to school. It's different thing. We're not lazy. A lot of people I see whenever I campaign or belusukan, the problem is not laziness, but the access, the what is that? The equality of access, the quality of the the infrastructure, and so on and so on. So the capability to address the root of causes, that's the really important thing to be I'm really bad at grammar, that the leaders should have in the future towards our leadership. And also we must have the blueprint of our education, what we want from now to 100 years in the future, because we never have that. For example, like every time we change the minister, that time we change our curriculum, the way that we teach, the way the system works, and so on and so on. In developed country, they have the blueprint. In 10 years, we have to achieve this. In 20, 30 years, we have to achieve this. In 50 until 100 years, we have to achieve it. But in Indonesia, we don't have that. We don't have the blueprint of our education. So, sorry. So it changed a lot and it confused us to adapt and participate in global society. So leader must know that his job, his role is to prepare the generation for the future, not today. That's how we can be part of the globalization, because what I see in Indonesia, I don't know, maybe because of the pragmatism or our way to defend our power and so on and so on. So we always think about now. We never think about the future, what we prepare for the future, and we never learn from the past. That's the problem. We always see what happened right now. We just see the present. We never see the future. We never learn from the past. That's the problem. So the educational leaders must understand that that education is attractive when the environmental is good, when they can make the access for everyone and the infrastructure also for everyone. And the goal for education is not just for your money or prosperity, but to prepare the future for the nation. That's also become the mindset of our leadership should address to the people. Yeah, maybe that's it. Thank you so much. And I already agree with Mr. Sunshine, so that yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Sir. And we'll move to Miss Suchi.
Yeah, okay. It is interesting to give a statement after Mr. Sunshine and Mr. Moonshine, because I do agree with them a lot. Like, first of all, that I want to add, Mr. Moonshine, like, yes, like we have a education minister who study in global but never study in Indonesia. So that is why like we have this kind of policy. But what I want to add is that is why that the problem itself that I said before, that actually we have we walk to a better education actually, even if for the technology integration, even our policy, and then all the platform that we have, and then the all the thing the education ministry work on. But the problem is the distribution. So like Mr. Moonshine before, that we need to have education blueprints or something like that. Actually, we have that. And then the reason why the curriculum changed is not because of the minister has changed. That's not the reason. And then I know about the information when I have a chance to to join the how to say, a workshop or something, education workshop with the good distribution. And then I was amazed that actually we have a good propose, and then we have a good how to say it, facilitation, and then we have a good access for how to reach the knowledge. But the problem is the capability. Even if the parent capability to understand it, the teacher's capability, and then that will, how to say it, terpengaruh, which is influenced by their access. Yes, about the transportation access, communication access, and so on. Because in Indonesia, our major problem is not about only in Java, but only is like all of the lots of island Indonesian, and then we have inequality access. That is the problem. So actually, we walk to a better path, but the distribution and then the supervision, should I say it, like pengawasan and also pendampingan. That is the problem. Why? Because our leader in education, they have a global knowledge, like Mr. Munshan said before. They have a global knowledge, and then he knows the demons of a globalization, but he doesn't understand what happened in the grassroots. So he creates like PMM. He creates that how the teacher can share the knowledge. He creates the platform how the teacher can learn and express and create and to connect each other to learn. But he doesn't know how many teachers can access that, how many teachers can access with their capability, how many teachers that have access to reach that kind of platform, that kind of facility that they work on. That is why. So actually the distribution and also the supervision and also the pendampingan, I don't know how to say it in English. So that is the problem actually, because he doesn't know, or they the top level who hold that kind of policy or create that policy don't really understand what happened in the grassroots. That is why that is what happened in Indonesian education system right now. And also before, I completely agree with Mr. Sunshine. Like before I said that what we need is a leader who has global knowledge but grassroots understanding. And then when Mr. Sunshine said that we can use the Jokowi's strategy, like how to code all of the remote, the low. What did you say before? Like the kepala desa on how to when the certain candidate is a very good strategy, because he knows how to use that kind of pemegang kekuasaan in the grassroots, and then we can use that kind of systematic strategy in our education. I think that is the ideal strategy for our education system. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you so much. So sorry, I didn't get to mention here. All right, and the last Miss Azzi, yes. Last speaker, Miss Azzi.
I'm done. I think it's pretty complete with Mr. Chi. I will also want to talk about something kind of like such pendampingan, but it's already very well delivered by Mr. Chi. Thank you, Mr. Chi.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Azzi. All right. Okay. I guess it's doing. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks so much for joining the discussion tonight, and time to give the conclusion for me that the conclusion for curriculum, we need to fix curriculum. We need fixed curriculum for Indonesian students, and we need collaboration with with other countries, and for multilingualism, and how can we promote multilingualism based on our local language? I guess it's a mother tongue language. And the last, for the policy, we have to strengthen our policy, especially for effective leaders. Thank you. Maybe one person I want to ask you about, what did you get from the discussion tonight? And Mr. R. Hello, Mr. R. You're newbie here. No, Miss. Okay, Miss Azzy, comes to you, please. Give you the best resume for tonight.
Me?
Yes, you.
That's with you now. Okay.
Yeah, I already gave the resume.
Well, everything that I got is every single step that we want to make a better education is start from ourselves. I mean, like, yeah, the deeper of our heart to make it. Even me myself don't have any such a thing that can make a big impact. At least a small impact can influence people, can brings every single benefits, I guess. So that's all for me.
Okay, thanks so much, Miss Azzy. And again, thank you so much for pleasing me to present this presentation tonight. And that is for me. I give to our host, Mr. Angga.
Well, give round of applause to Kak Soni and everyone here. Thank you very much, Kak Soni, especially for carrying the discussions, and also everyone who has shared their insights, their knowledge about this topic, which are quite exciting and also thought-provoking. For me, I hope that this discussion will be beneficial for your English-speaking enhancement, and also new insights that you obtain from friends that shared their ideas in here. Thank you very much again. Well, before we end our discussions, as usual, we are going to take a group photo. But before that, let me share my screen, because I'm gonna give something to the. Can you guys see this screen?
Okay.
Yeah, this is a certificate of appreciation from us, OTA community, Kak Soni, because you just led our discussions with an interesting topic to discuss, and also like important, crucial, because now we've been seeing an educational problem in Indonesia recently about the like the expensive fees that students are facing at the moment. Well, let's share your video, guys, because we wanna see your handsome and beautiful face while taking last group picture. All right, let me hold on. How can we? Give me a second. I'm not that familiar with this. Okay. I still haven't seen everyone's face. Wait, give me a second.
Thailand.
How many people are here?
I think 10 to
9.
20.
Oh, 8, no?
It's about 10, I guess, before, but they.
No. Okay, it's okay. Oh, what about Suchi and Prapti? Do you want to share your videos?
I'm sorry,